So, Barry, you get the award for the most panicky motherfucker on the planet. Jesus Christ. Listen. If this is giving you guys grief, you have no fucking chance in the markets. None. By the way, congratulations, Charlene. Jesus Christ. I was just reading the comments. Actually, I was here about 19 minutes ago, but the comments were so fucking stupid, I just had to read them. All of them. Barry. You're not the only one, Barry. I'm just picking on you because you have thick skin. Like, Jesus Christ. If you guys can't get past a 15-minute delay or an AM/PM switch, how the fuck are you guys going to manage all of your money? Jesus. We give you tools, but apparently they're not enough. It's never enough. Let's see. I tried playing that music real loud to see if it would piss anybody off, but it didn't apparently. Let's see. Howard. I'm not sure if this is... No. No, it's just because no one here can think outside of the very, very obvious box. And the same every day, 4 years straight. But today's the day that we go to 11 p.m. Really? Everyone who thought that, do 1,000 push-ups till your arms explode. Dear God. Let's see. Oh man, I could tell you about a company. Let me give you, hold on, let me turn this thing down. There's a company, I'm not going to out them, but they're looking for money. It's a guy from another company that was a fail, and it's three dudes from one company that failed really bad, and it's 2 dudes from Celsius. The director of operations at Celsius, who was there for 4 years, because we all trust Celsius, and another dude that was there, one of their quants, because Celsius is so good at managing money. And these 5 dumbasses actually put a company together, and they're trying to raise money in LA. They invited me to some stupid thing, and oh man, you should see the email chain. I told this dude, I said, 1, you better get a good defense attorney. 2, you guys just put a bunch of people from failed companies together to form a new failed company, and you're in LA looking for money. I told him, don't make sure that you don't go to any investors that have the internet, because that won't work out for you. Let's see. Okay. No, it was too loud, Hugh. It was too damn loud. Okay. Anyway, yeah, it was I didn't get my little alert thing, and I thought, well, that's weird. I should get the little alert thing. And then it was just like a cascade of things. The Best Buy dudes that were going to come at 10 o'clock came a little while ago to deliver a refrigerator. But when they deliver it, they just put it there. They don't really do anything, which is kind of weird. The investors in FTX, man. Ugh. Is there anybody here that was in, the triumvirate? Is there anybody here that was in FTX and Celsius and they had Luna? Is there anybody that did all 3? The evil 3? Anybody that knocked all of those? You probably don't admit that. I don't think even bank run fraud chicken. Did you see those prison pictures emerge when he's with his homies? Well, I could see how people would get caught up in Luna at first. Yeah. I'm not going to blame you for Luna at first. I will blame you for Luna once they started talking about 20% returns on UST, on a stable coin, because there's nowhere you can earn 20%. Even if you just work that out in your mind, it doesn't make any sense. Oh, you did FTX. Okay, good. So there's a lot of people that did one or the other. Okay, Celsius was the same thing. When you look at it, you got to ask, like, anybody that's guaranteeing you 8, 9, 10, 20%, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And because you have to ask yourself, forget about crypto for a second, forget about all that, and just say, how do they make that much money and stay in business? Like, how does a company make and pay out 20% interest? Remember, it's different if you have asset appreciation. If you have an asset that goes straight up, you're great. And that's going to happen because that's a market. That's price discovery, and that's that's participants in the market pricing an asset. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is when a company says, we can guarantee you 8, 10, 20%. I need to know where that comes from, right? If it's a stable coin, like based on a US dollar, how do you take a US dollar and guarantee 20% year-on-year return? Doesn't make any sense. You say, well, where would those dollars go? Okay, money market, repo, or some combination. Short-term treasuries, roll them over. None of that equals 20%. Not just 20% plus interest, because they have to make something too. The company's not doing it for free. And so when you can't figure out where, it's a Ponzi scheme. That's it. Oh no, Tika told you to do Luna? Of course he did. Of course he did. No, like, you just have to ask yourself, and if you can't get a simple answer, then you already know your gut's telling you something's not right. Your gut's saying, hey, how does Coinbase give us 10% on Cosmos? Because the Cosmos ecosystem emanates they emanate more than that. And Coinbase may be adding a little bit of a bonus on top, meaning their own kind of marketing for you to keep the liquidity there. But if you go to matter of fact, we can do it right now. I don't know if many of you have Cosmos Station on your phone. I recommend that you do everything on your laptop, not on your phone. They do a lot of marketing. Essentially, these emanations, these large staking rewards and interest paid, a lot of that's marketing. It's just to kind of bootstrap the network. And as the network got bigger, those numbers would come down. I've used 200 millions of my own monies. But if you go to Cosmos Station, as we're going to do now, I can tell you what these things are paying. And it's just, this is directly through the Cosmos ecosystem. So actually, you know what's funny? I have a tiny position. I have a smaller position in Cosmos than I thought. Anyway, it's paying. Let's go to the wallet. Let's go to the governance, claim, stake, send. I think it's at, it doesn't have it right in front of me. I mean, it has the rewards right in front of me, but it doesn't have the actual return. Hold on. Can someone pull that up? Yeah, it's something, it's some on or about. Let me see. Stake. Nope, that's just the staking pool. Well, anyway, it's easier on the web version. This used to be, Cosmos Station just got different. It used to be very easy to just toggle through here. Maybe governance. Let's see. This shows you when they increase or decrease the inflation or deflation. Interesting. See, you learn something every day. But anyway, the newer version is good, but not Here it is. You go to the About section. And on the About section, the inflation rate is 10%. The staking annual percentage rate, APR, is 13.78%. So John was right on the money. Unbonding time, 21 days. That means your thaw period. If you unbond, it's going to be 21 days before those tokens arrive back in your wallet. Yes, nailed it. Yeah, so for anybody that's curious, you go to the About. Here, I'll put that. For anybody that's using this one, hold on. You go to the About. The About. Go About. And there it is. Boop. Oh, we have some badass graphics in this show. Anyway, that's that. And then for Fetch, which we all love, hashtag Fetch, it's paying, the inflation is 3%. That means the new tokens added each year. And the staking APR is 9.61. So there you go. So remember, if Coinbase can get 13.78, they can give you 10 and change. That makes sense. The math makes sense. And Philip is correct. When you see more than about 4 to 6%, what is the one thing you should be thinking right then? You should be thinking, wait a minute. This is what high yield pays. Do you guys remember what high yield is? We talked about this a few times. High yield is junk bonds, things rated less than BBB. So if companies that have a 50% chance of insolvency, of going bankrupt, are paying 6, 7, 8%, then if anybody's paying 6, 7, 8%, you should assume it's in the junk bond range, right? Yes, junk, high risk. They call it high yield. That's a clever way of saying junk. It's not junk, it's high yield. Yeah, you go to someone's house and there's just crap all over the place. You say, wow, you have a lot of high yield in your house, sir, good sir. Junk is junk. So anyway, this company, they were telling me, oh, we're going to raise money. And I told this guy, I was like, dude, just stop. I said, you were in a crappy company, and I told you it was crap after I spent 30 minutes with the CEO. I hung out with this dude on a boat, which I knew was sketch, and he was an idiot. And I called it. I was like, you guys are going to completely fail. And that's when I told everybody, pull all your money out of Abra. Remember Abra? Remember that fucking dumpster fire led by that weirdo that was like a Bitcoin maxi? And I was like, how can you run a financial program of any kind and you're a Bitcoin maxi? You can't be in anything maxi. You have to be a math maxi. And he was talking about the Bitcoinization of the whole world. And I was like, what are you talking about, dude? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, I was trying to be respectful about it, but instead of, like I was saying, I don't understand a world where that would be possible. And he's like, oh yeah, well, and when you have ideas about stuff, you can have ideas about stuff, but you can't be maximalist about it. Like, oh, it's gonna happen. Man, I don't know. I don't think so. And his fiance was there, and she was actually had some Wall Street DNA. I'm sure they're not together anymore because that was a weird thing anyway. Yeah, he was like Michael Saylor. Anyway, that was the douchebag that ran Abra into the ground, and whatever. So fine, we're out. For those of us that participated early, we did get a bunch of their stupid tokens right off the bat and sold them right off the bat and put some cash in our pocket. So that was like a cheap win. But anyway, so he and one of their sales guys, not the lead guy, but two of their sales guys that they know nothing about crypto, fucking nothing. They don't know much about finance. These guys are just idiot LA guys. They're very nice guys, but they're idiot LA guys. They don't know shit about shit. And I mean, just like clueless. But again, nice guys, right? Like I don't want them to fail. But this is the failure formula. When you take two idiots and then you connect them to some guys from Celsius, and one of the dudes from Celsius is he was their director of operations from 2018 to 2022. So he knew what was in the sausage. And this dude looked sketchy. You look at I'm not going to tell you the company name because I don't want to be that much of a dick. But I almost want to just to warn everyone. You know what? I am going to warn everyone. Give me a second. Let me delete this. It's kind of weird. Delete. Don't save. Let's not invite Jacques. Remember that? Give me a second. I'm gonna see if I can pull up. I blocked all of their messages. Doesn't want to come up. Hold on. Yeah, this one's important. You guys probably need to stay away from it. I might as well out them. They're a bunch of idiots. Okay. Okay. What address were they using? Give me a second. I think it's in junk. It's gonna be junk or trash. Let's see. Junk. No. Trash. Let's see. Oh, I found it. No, this is not going to be behind the wall because anybody that sees this needs to stay away from them. I don't have a problem telling people to stay away from a company. It is, I'll put it in the comments. It'll be a secret. Stay away. How's that? Just be amongst us friends. Stay away from that company. Don't give them money. Don't listen to their pitches. Nothing. Like nothing. Nothing. Okay. I don't feel bad warning people against bad products and bad companies because we've kept a lot of our currency units because we've stayed away from bad companies, bad products. It gets back to this. I've been thinking, Brandon and I have been thinking a lot about how people's minds change during these bullish markets and how they get very antsy, they get very anxious, they make very fundamentally poor decisions. And we did all the homework over the last few years. All of you did a lot of homework. Everybody here, Andy, what's up, buddy? Everybody here, even Barry, you know I love you, Barry, you thick-skinned son of a bitch. I want to know who was here. Let's do it this way. Not here with us, just in the crypto space since 2017. Give me 2017. Don, what up, buddy? Be seeing you here in a few weeks, buddy. Investor Weekend's going to be a blast, by the way. It's going to be super fun. I do cuss a lot, though. You got to get past that. If you can get past the profanity. Okay, so tell me when everybody started. So 2017. Was it late 2017 with the run-up or early 2017? Oh, nice. In and out since 2016. Yeah, that makes sense. 2017, 2019. Okay, so you got to watch the market get beat up in 2018. 2018 was rough. 2018, man, it was so bad. I was going to acting classes. That's not true. I was actually at acting classes with my buddy Brando, who was teaching acting classes because he's an actor and he's awesome. Let's see. 2021. Okay. So, you got in right at the high. 2017. Sniper Princess. That's right. Yes. 2021, 2017. Okay. So anybody that's here from 2017 on, You got to witness the first really deep, slow, painful bear market. 2016s, some 2016s. Good, Dave. You've been here a minute. I could lie and say I was in the market like a long time ago, but it really wasn't the case. We were dabbling in 2014. I wasn't really investing until 2016. We were dabbling, like minuscule. My brother was in from the very beginning of Bitcoin. 1 year now. All right. Okay. So almost everybody here. Now, let's hear. I want to hear. Let me know if. Don't tell me what you took, but let me know if you've taken a 10x, like a take 20, or just you've taken profit. And if you took profit, I want to know your biggest single take profit. Now, not the dollar amount. What I mean is, in 20 whatever, I did a 10x take 20, or I did a 3x, I took 50%, or whatever. I want to know what your biggest win was, but not the actual asset. You can say the asset, but definitely not the dollar amount. Don't make yourself a target. I could tell you a funny story about Luna. Couldn't I, Dawn? Oh, couldn't I? I could, but I won't. I could. I won't. Okay. Damn. Oh no. Okay, but it's somewhere, right? Man, I would not let one piece of electronic equipment get out of my house. I would go computer by computer. I would have AI. Scrape your hard drives. You'll find it. If it hasn't been thrown away, if there's private keys somewhere, you'll find it. I'd go mining. I'd tear my whole existence apart for that. Ooh, nice. 10x a couple of times. That's good. That's really good. 7x didn't take a penny out in 21. Okay, you didn't take any out. I want to know who took some. You took profit. Done multiple 10x take 20. Nice. Fetch. Nice work, Donnie. Yeah, because those of us were buying on the bottom. Render 12x. Sam, you rye son of a bitch. You've even outpaced me on Render. Although, I don't know. I'd have to go back because on Render, I've actually cycled through it like 3 times of like taking profit and backing off and taking profit. And if it gets anywhere near its highs, oh, wait. 405, 810 is my next. I take 10% at $8.10 if it gets it. 11x. Ooh, nice. Was that that'd be probably, well, it could be Fetch, could be AGIX. I took 20% 3 times. Nice work. AGIX 10 take 20. Nice. Let's see. I had shared those with girls. Just decided getting tattooed. Wait, what? They're all getting tattooed today, me included. a Bitcoin. That would be awesome, but don't make your kids do that. God, do like a little hands thing or whatever families do when they get group tattoos. Yeah, but listen, this kind of okay, I was late one time. I made 15x. It took 20. Good for you. Well, that sucks, Ryan. Yeah, I mean, I have a buddy of mine who's an actor. Do you guys watch Walking Dead? So one of my buddies is an actor from The Walking Dead. He's now a director. Negan killed him. Negan bashed him in the head. Anyway, his kids each had like 250 Bitcoin from back in the day, and it's somewhere in the house and they can't locate it. It's on a thumb drive somewhere. They said they searched all their thumb drives. I said, it's probably taped somewhere. You probably did something very squirrely and clever. They can't find it. Think about that. 500 Bitcoin. Man. 500 Bitcoin? what, 40 million bucks? Well, more than he made his whole it's more than he's made his whole acting career on 2 thumb drives that they can't find. Anyway, 15X took 50%, 2019, good. 16X and ATX didn't take, punted it back in. I mean, to an extent, everybody punts it back in. So I guess what I'm doing, okay, good. So I've got a good idea of these stories. Now, never been so rich. Remember, rich is a mindset, Cisco. I would venture to say that you were already mentally in that state anyway. Remember, it's not the money that you have on your balance sheet that makes you rich or wealthy. Okay, there's 182 of 170. I want everybody here to write rich. Well, actually, the triumvirate. Poor, rich, wealth is all a mindset. It is a state of mind. So you're going to write poor, rich, wealth is a state of mind. Everybody, I need 172 of them. Poor, rich, wealth is a state of mind. We're going to go old school. We're going to go, today is going to be like old school, like in the barracks, drill sergeant, this thing day. No, not just wealth, all of them. It's a state of mind. Yes, over and over and over. Poor, rich, wealth is a state of mind. Because it can be both, Barry. It can be, if you think you're gonna end up failing at something, you're gonna find out you're right. If you think you're gonna succeed, you're also gonna find out you're right. It's surprising how simple that sounds. Really simple, right? Really cliche. Oh, poor, rich, wealth is a state of mind. That's stupid. No, it's not. If you just start thinking that way. I challenge all of you. Does anybody here, you guys know my feelings on reality TV. Does anybody here watch reality TV still? Oh, certainly not. Certainly not. Watching, if you use some of your life to watch someone else's fake life, that is a very obvious waste. And you could have put that time. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm not even a big fan of watching sports. If you want to watch big events, a playoff game, a Champions League game, a Super Bowl, something like that, I get it, because there's a lot of fanfare and there's kind of the social validity to it, and kind of the people get together and all this. But if you're just watching sports on a regular basis, it's a waste of time. I do forgive escapism. There are times when you need to just escape, but you've got to be judicious with this. You can't be escaping 5 hours a night. If you're escaping 5 hours a night, like, how much time do you have to work and then sleep? By the time you factor in work and sleep, there's nothing left. So, as a general rule for me, no reality TV, no sports, no content that isn't either pure escapism. I mean, really, where you escape, but it can't be like mind-numbing dribble. Like if you're watching the log burning channel, that's actually probably more valuable than watching like some cheesy show. Well, obviously, Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty is. There are some shows that are incredibly cerebral. Now, you can't watch 5 hours of those either. But, I mean, I don't have to tell you guys this stuff. You guys know this. But I did find that there was there's a pretty clear correlation between people that I see one movie a week. One. And it's basically so I can go have the popcorn. It's escapism. And yes, I'm being honest with myself. And that is time I'm wasting, but it's kind of a social thing. I go with 3 or 4 of my buddies, and we eat popcorn and we shit talk the film. And I realize that is socially valuable time, but not like intellectually valuable. I get it. And so as long as you're honest, I'm not advocating that anybody go completely cult on anything, right? You don't want to just like live with like a hood and this guy, and your life is just spent on the computer. But I mean, it's what you put in is what you get out. Your inputs determine your outputs, right? So I would just think about the amount of maybe extra time you kind of hunt, and if it could be spent in a more valuable way. And I would front load it now over the next 12 to 18 months. I think AI is moving so fast. If the unveiling of Sora didn't come across as a wake up call to everybody, it sure should have. And just how powerful that is. And by the way, I was watching AI Explained, which is this guy's really good. The guy's like a legit genius. But AI Explained is a cool channel that just goes through AI news only, and it's very in detail. He goes into papers and things like that. Why I like him is because it's not biased. Like he'll go in and he'll just rip apart OpenAI, or he'll rip apart, but he goes and he reads every page. If there's a 165-page paper, a research report, or something that OpenAI puts out about Sora or GPT 4.5 or 4 Turbo, whatever, he reads the whole thing. And so he's talking from a really interesting position. So he was explaining that if you look under the veil, Sora can actually do 4 minutes of content right now. 4 minutes. So think about this. A television show's 22 minutes. So Sora, if it gets five and a half times more robust, you could do a text prompt and spit out a television show. Done. And so then you think, well, I mean, if I'm Pixar, if I'm an animation studio, if I'm in production, like, the asteroid is in the sky. This is just like when the dinosaurs were like, what's that? Like, that's the end of times, dinosaur. So, and then just the smaller creatures scuttled inside caves and stuff. So it should be abundantly clear that we don't have forever as far as investors, because we're going to be sidelined just like the people in Hollywood are going to be sidelined. Because if you can do text to film, text to feature, text to ... how long is it? We already know that there's the headsets that monitor the functional MRIs that can take your thoughts and push them out as pictures. How long before we're not talking anymore and it just puts out the content, it spits out the output? So like, if you start putting all this together and you realize a lot of these systems, information systems, gathering systems, data management systems, well, one, they need a lot of data. We know that. But we are troves of data. How long before like actual human participation in investment markets is just going to be gone? And so this goes back to this theory that I've got, that we're going to get to some point where what you have is pretty much where you're at. Kind of like in geology, if you take a sample and you see all the strata, imagine that we take a sample and all the strata of the economy, right? All the socioeconomic divisions. Because once we get to a certain place, if everybody's collecting government stipend, universal basic income, and most everybody's investing it in the index or whatever it is that's managed by AI, or whatever large conglomerate owns the AI systems or the AGI systems that manage currency units, you get to a point where no one's managing currency units and you just have this pool of quasi-abundance. Or is it going to be quasi-sustenance? Is it going to be just enough? A pool of just enough? Do you want to live a life of just enough? Maybe you do, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Monks in Mongolia seem just fine with a life of just enough. But if you don't want just enough, um, then you have to work really hard right now. Let's see. Am I still in the valley? Yes. I can tell you I'm in Sherman Oaks. Here, look. That's the rainy outside of Sherman Oaks. You can see the city in the background, actually. Oh, you can't because it's. Oh, you can kind of. Okay, you know my buddy Sharik, that billionaire guy I was telling you about. He's in. Hold on. Let me gauge it off that tree. Okay, right over. Let me see if I can find it. No. There. Over to the. I'm point at it. Over there. Is my pointer working? Over there, you can kind of see the Comerica building. He has the whole top floor of that building. That's the guy that put the book out a few weeks ago. You know. Anyway, doesn't matter. Oh, you're in Lake Balboa. We can go get coffee, buddy. You know what? We should. No, there's not really. We should do another coffee meetup before Investor Weekend. We'll do a coffee meetup for anyone that wants to do that. We'll do one. We can do one this weekend if you guys want. Anybody in LA, if you want to do a coffee meetup, hit me up and we'll do a coffee meetup this weekend. How about that? Coffee meetup. And if Ella Paul will bring those little donuts, then you guys can just come over here. We won't even go to a coffee shop because I bought a Keurig. Fancy as hell. I got it on sale on Amazon. Anyway. Okay, so I'm worried that we don't have forever as investors. I do think we have 18 to 24 months. I don't know. That's hard to predict. It's hard to predict how fast these systems are going. And I waffle on this a lot. I noodle, and then that noodle ferments, and then it crystallizes this waffle. But I do think that we have to take this next, say, 18 months very, very seriously. Like, very seriously. Matter of fact, Brandon and I are even doing some like promotional crap to make it easier on people. Like on some of we're trying to get more people to do the, our show, Digital Investor and all that. We're trying to get more people excited about doing that in crypto rather than US dollar units. But anyway, so we're doing some cool promotional stuff for that. Especially like for the people that do the 6 month and the 1 year and stuff. We're trying to incentivize that behavior. And I don't know if he put it out. Well, I don't want to step on Brandon's toes because every time I say something, he's like, why would you say that? But we are doing something for that. Basically, I want to make sure I get this group to the end of the runway. Now, if there's more runway, great. But I want to make sure that when we get to the end of the runway, and if that runway is 18 months from now, I want to make sure everybody's flying. I want you to crash into the marsh or whatever's at the end of a runway. I think it's Osaka. If you fly in, which is is there any pilots here? What is the floating? It's either Osaka or Tokyo that there are parts of the runway are floating, like literally floating. If you miss it, you're in the water. You're in the drink. Anyway, I think we want to be in a position where we're in control of our future, even if everyone else is stuck in some socioeconomic slice, because that starts to look like the caste system, and that starts to look like what's going on in India, and that's not so good. Like, nothing against India, but like it's pretty not good, right? That kind of quality of life. And so if you're stuck in the caste system, unless you get anointed and plucked out of that system, you're stuck with everybody. Now, so that gets to this question of how important this bull run is. I don't think this is the last bull run. I think it's the last easy bull run, the last big easy one. I also think this is going to be a long one. It's going to be a long, grinding melt upward. And I think that I think we could get 8 to 10 trillion in the market cap. It doesn't make any sense to me that we wouldn't surpass gold. And gold, even at the lowest estimate, is 7.5 trillion. Some people put it at 12 trillion. You start thinking about derivatives and stuff like that. So this market, the whole market's probably got a 5x left in it in this bull run of the next 18 months, let's say. But certain assets are going to, it's the same as the S&P. You got 6 assets pulling the other 494 dumpsters. Think about this too. In the regular markets, let's forget about crypto for a second. Regular markets. Stocks go up because the market is good, right? Okay, weird. The whole world's in recession, but yet the stock market's going good. True. Well, Germany's in recession. The DAX is up. That's weird. The Nikkei is up, but yet Japan is in recession. Oh, that's weird. So, but we've talked about the circular argument that is markets. But what happens? So if you're in the stock market, I buy stocks go up, but yet the United States is probably somewhere in a recession. So how are we still up? Oh, I don't know. Okay, well, but if we're up, that means companies are doing good, right? Yes. Therefore, all these earnings are going to be great, right? I think that's when the rubber may hit the road. It's the expectations, because you can blag, you can BLS the numbers, you can bullshit only for a certain amount of time. But then what happens? All those people are expecting the earnings to match the price appreciation of the asset. So if your underlying asset goes from $100 to $600, you're thinking, oh, there's going to be some great earnings to prove to me that everything's fine. If those earnings come in and they suck, if the earnings are bad, then you go, wait, shit. What if it isn't good? So you can blag and BS and all this. Now, companies can also cook their earnings. That's a whole other thing. But let's assume that everybody's not cheating. If these earnings don't come in, and I'm not really worried about this quarter is not the big one. I think it's the next one, because people can blag and blag and blag. But I think the next set of earnings, the pre-June earnings, that could get quite murky. The March, April-ish. And then if that gets murky, you could see a bunch of bad estimates. You could see stock markets get beat up. What happens when stock markets get beat up, though? Oh, the Fed will lower rates. What does that mean for people? Oh, stock market's up. It's going to go up because of the free money, even though that's not what it means. But we know that. But they that we're competing with, they don't know that. So it's still number go up. So even if the U.S. markets completely crap the bed, which I imagine they will in fits, on the aggregate, the Fed will just say, hey, we're gonna lower rates. It doesn't mean anything. It has zero actual effect other than in this kind of imagined effect, this kind of performance theater that they do. But people believe the performance theater. And even if people don't believe the performance theater, they believe that other people believe the performance theater. And yes, that is a derivative of all this, is that you do want to be a participant in AI. You absolutely want to be a participant in AI. Ah, crap. Hold on. I got to log in, but I can't do it. You never log in when people are watching. Don't do it. Log in when they're not watching. Okay, let me see. That should be good. Hold on. Let's see what we got. And just again, I'm not going to comment. Oh, by the way, did you guys see Bitcoin went way up, and then it was 51. No, it was 52.8. And Ethereum was over 3,000, and it just went like straight. I'll show you. Oh, you can't quite see it. Let's do 24 hour. Look at that. This is where it was, and then so, which is good. I thought this was going to happen yesterday. I thought we had gone too far, which is good. These little sell-offs make it more comfortable for people to get in. I bought some more Bitcoin yesterday when it was selling off on one of the smaller exchanges. I got it there. I don't think the halving story is over. But yes, when it goes to AI, oh, by the way, data, layer 2, almost price discovery, not anywhere close to price discovery. Let's see, data, fetch 93, not bad. See a coin, data, hey, whatever, right? Arweave was almost 15, still good, up 56% last week. But this is all open AI hype, in my opinion. Hypercycle 68, so they call it 70 cents. I think that being a participant in AI makes a lot of sense. Now, I'm not telling anyone, especially in a public-facing broadcast, I'm not saying to go ape into Hypercycle. But do I still? No, I don't do BTC options because the options exchange for that is very illiquid. You can't do more than 1 or 2 Bitcoin, and I'm not. It's just such a headache. I wanted to start covering Bitcoin options with the group, but what I don't want to do is to get you all excited and send you to an exchange that has like in every strike like 1 Bitcoin worth of liquidity, because then no one can ever get orders filled, and I certainly don't want us trading against each other. So Ledger X, unfortunately, does not have enough liquidity to support me advocating for it. It's a good skill set to have, but they're not there yet. I think that we will be able to do the same thing on the ETFs. I just have to kind of see how those options chains play out. Okay, so the long end of all this dithering discussion is, if we think we're coming to a point where AI is going to mostly take over, which I think is a foregone conclusion, but you got to draw your own conclusions. And if you think we would get stuck through traditional investing by indexing in with everyone else, following the trend, you got to stay invested, you got to buy the dip, and everybody stays inside that pool of indexation, you're growing only compared to people that are not invested, which does separate you from the other 99%. But the invested class, you can't beat anybody because everybody's indexing into everything. Because AI would be the ultimate indexer. They're gonna arbitrage. They're gonna take every arbitrage opportunity and immediately ameliorate it. So we move into this path, and the only way to kind of outpace the indexers is to be at the infrastructure level of, I think, of the rails of that system, which is the indexation side. We beat them by being infrastructure in AI, by being involved. And that's where things like, if they could get their act together, AGIX, and some of these other AI assets that are actually AI assets, which, Hypercycle, I don't know what NewNet is now. I don't even know what we would call it. I'm not going to get into the individual assets, but AI and data. And I think if you're in those infrastructure, those fundamental infrastructure spaces, and you play your cards right, then the next 18 months is going to be really good for you. Yeah. Cool. So that's that. All right. I was late, so obviously I owe you guys some more time. So we will keep going for about another 10 or 12 minutes so that no one can say I greased them out of their time. You say, do you know what the total AI sector market cap is? It can't be much. And it's also what are real AI assets, not the fake ones. You know, the ones that just slap AI on the title. I'd say the whole thing's got to be less than 10 billion, because the front runner is Fetch. Well, that's not. I don't know if that's purely accurate, but anyway, the front runner is pretty much Fetch. And that's not yet a billion. Now the fully kind of the market cap thing is kind of weird because like with Hypercycle, obviously, if you multiplied all the tokens times the current price, you get a number that's, over 1.5 billion, but that's not the full circulating market cap. And let's see. Well, thank you, Howard. I over deliver profanity. What? Yeah. Let's see. So data. I think we've covered it. I think we've covered what was gyrating in my mind. I think you guys are on the right spot. 16.7 billion. Dang. That seems high. But you know what? That's because they're counting a lot of these projects that are not AI. For instance, you don't have to go very far before you go to the first. Here's a $2 billion project that claims that they're AI, but they are not. And they're not anything close to AI. They were never anything AI. It's just AI sounded good. Then they had nothing to do with Solana until Solana started moving. So then they said they were Solana. They're going to keep saying they're just trend whores. They're just going to say whatever is the trend. They're just going to say that they do that. They're just a better version of Justin's son. That's it. They out-troned Tron is all it is. Those dudes aren't doing shit. I guarantee you go to their office, there's zero AR other than AI, AR, XR, which by the way is augmented reality, extended reality, VR, AI. They're doing none of that. All it is a well-dressed NewNet, and NewNet is a fail. But there's two. So those numbers are quasi-cooked. What is the potential or project market cap for? Oh, we did this. Yeah. What is the projected? Well, I mean the projected. That's tricky because you could imagine AI assets taking over almost everything. But again, there's going to be companies that utilize artificial intelligence, but they're not AI companies. Does that make sense? So a lot of these projects will utilize artificial intelligence to do a variety of functions, but they're not AI. They're not specifically AI products. If that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. But can AI hit 1 trillion? I mean, I don't know. That sounds like a lot. I think that AI could have a 20 to 50x, but I don't know, 20 to 50x. I think that's possible. Let's see. To answer the question from yesterday's session, from the MML days, got in late summer, fall of 2021. Okay, good. Ada Adam dot fetch only fetches up for me, sadly. Really? Oh, yeah. Because you got in. Yeah, you got in at the top. But that's all right. You'll be able to exit. Well, fetch, you'll make money for dot. You'll be able to exit Cardano. You'll make money there. You'll probably make money on Cosmos. On Polkadot, I don't know. I'm guessing it melts up, but at some point, people would just ask themselves, why do they own it? Yeah, it's gonna be a tricky next year and a half. But there's a lot of currency units to be made. And just I would be diligent with your cognitive bias training. I would be diligent with your game theory, your basic game theory training. Everyone should really understand these two things like the back of your hand. You want to understand Nash equilibrium, and you want to understand the prisoner's dilemma. It all starts with the prisoner's dilemma, right? So, I mean, like, and you can explain it to anyone because you can explain it to someone else, then you understand it. Let's see. Gemini 1.5 has a huge context window. Is Twin becoming a feature? No. What's a context? Those two have nothing to do with each other. How would that in Twin be a? Twin is not a feature. Having your own digital representation is not a feature. I mean, I think you may be looking at that too simply. I think that Now, I'm not saying that there's not going to be competition for Twin. I'm sure there's going to be people doing different versions of your digital representation. But their version seems pretty cool. They're putting a lot of effort into it. But nothing's guaranteed. Oh, yeah. John, in AI systems overall, yes, of course. But I was thinking more along the lines of crypto specific, like where we are personally invested. We'll see. Okay. I think that pretty much rounds it out. What was I going to say about okay, I don't know if it's this point forward or some point forward, we talked about it. Can you make a twin of someone else? You can, but I don't think you'd own the rights to their twin. But there could be a good service in developing twins for people and then handing them off to them. There could be a whole little economy right there. Okay, on the node market NFTs, and this isn't, I think this is what we're going to do moving forward. Brandon will probably yell at me, but I think anybody, again, from this point forward, if you get 5 NFTs in a pile, we will just credit you your membership for a year. Basically, you get a free year on the digital investor stuff. No more payments, nothing. Okay? There. It's out there. Good luck, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. That way, it's all becoming one thing, right? Like digital investor and the tools and node market and the tools that we're building, all this kind of stuff. It's all to support the same cause. So I think it kind of makes sense. That's what we're going to do. If you get 5, and this isn't what you did yesterday or 2 weeks ago. No, this is from now moving forward. If you get 5, we're just going to credit you a whole year. No. You guys realize that all the node, this is the money that we use to build this. That's how it gets built. Brandon and I do not make enough money in our spare time to fund 3 teams of developers full time. Let's see. Cardano at 25 cents. Told a bunch of friends at the time. Got lots of people asking if I should sell. One, don't tell them anything, Brian. People that get in, get out, whatever, they have to take responsibility for their own assets. They have to. Lots of people asking if I should sell. I mean, I don't know if I would sell any fundamental core asset unless you're up big time. But again, you've got to do what makes you feel comfortable. I sold at 47. I told everyone, I sold a third of my AGIX. I don't trust the project like I used to. I like it. I just don't trust it like I used to. So for me, I was feeling stress. And again, I'm not giving advice. This is just about the mental part. I was feeling stress because I thought I was too heavy. I lightened the load. I feel no stress. I didn't sell at the top. So what? I feel good. I slept just fine last night. I don't know what's going on with the hyper ring. We're going to try to get people hyper rings. I just don't know what's going on with that. I don't know. It's going to be cool. I just don't know how long it's going to be before they actually have these things. Like when you're building like a thing, it takes a while. It takes a while. So I just don't think we're going to see them for a while. But once we do, we'll get a pile of them and we'll be sending them out to people. Lifetime. Yeah, it's all lifetime memberships, Barry. You guys remember that? That was a whole Monday Morning Live thing. Anyway. Okay. How much time do we have to get? Well, right now it's until further notice, Kathy. I think I'm going to allow that just indefinitely. When you get the 5, contact Brandon and say, hey, I just did this. As long as you can prove it's your wallet, you're going to get at least for the time being, right? So let's just say for the time being, right? I mean, I want to allow ourselves the ability to change our minds. Time limit. You've got for the time being. Basically, until Brandon talks me out of it. But I'm not going to take his calls today, so you're fine. All right. Let's call today. We'll see you tomorrow. I promise to try. I promise to endeavor to not click the PM button when I really mean AM. How about that? See, we must all admit our mistakes. But on the other side of it, you guys should know that we're never doing an 11 p.m. show. Well, unless something crazy happens. It's always going to be 11 a.m. if you're on the East Coast, 8 a.m. if you're on the West Coast. Bam. Okay. Stay in school. Don't do drugs. Don't do anything my poor and soft drunk, strung on a meth grandmother or Brandon wouldn't do. And right now, Brandon's definitely going to wear a tank top rolling over because of this whole NFT for free membership thing. I mean, fair is fair, right? Make him do some work. If he doesn't do some work, he's going to get lazy. You guys know that. He's lazy by nature.